Listen, I was someone who I'm recognizing, reflecting on this election. I had the privilege of saying I'm voting on democracy because I'm a high-income earner. If your check engine light is on and you've got bills piling up on the table, you're not thinking about democracy. You're not thinking about the war in Ukraine. You're thinking about how will my life be better tomorrow.
Anybody else?
I disagree.
All right.
I think that
Of course.
I think the more relevant question actually is what is wrong with America? I think what is wrong with our country?
The way that the left speaks to its voters. It really is.
A message of joy and inclusiveness?
No, the message of not being
just said, "What's wrong
educated,
with
being
America?"
dumb, and what's wrong with America. I blame a messaging within the Democratic Party.
You don't blame the Republican
Party? Can I just
Party at
finish
all?
my point, please? I obviously have a problem. Anyone has a problem with Donald Trump. The bigger question should be, yes, Sunny, why did they vote for him?
Yes.
In sweeping...
So they need to be introspective.
No, we need to be introspective. If we voted for Kamala
chose
Harris,
out of
we
what
need
you
to
guys
say
offered.
what didn't resonate with the voters.
Ooh, it took a tremendous amount of restraint from me not to stop this video, but I wanted y'all to watch them in their entirety. I wanted you to hear them uninterrupted. And this is a beautiful day for me to watch The View. And this is a few days old now, right? But it was a beautiful thing for me to watch The View and see Sara and Alyssa finally get their legs. Someone finally stand up to Sunny Hostin, because this woman is just intolerable. She is blaming everyone but the Democratic Party and its messaging. And the fact that Alyssa said to her, so you're blaming America? You're blaming the voters? At the end of the day, if you didn't resonate with all these millions of people, you have to look at what it is that you did or failed to do. And I love the fact that Alyssa opened up and said, I've been thinking about this for the past few days. I've been reflecting on this loss, and I now understand why. And what was very crucial to me was when she said, I am a high income earner. That is extremely important, because somebody who is earning millions of dollars a year from one gig, because she works, she does commentary on CNN and all these different platforms. So she's getting her bag. Get your bag, girl, Alyssa, right? And she understands that her concerns are going to be different. It doesn't make her concerns more valid, doesn't make it better. She just has different concerns. Sara came in too, and you see Sunny, in typical Sunny fashion, always interrupts. She does this with her co-stars all the time. I don't know why they don't, pull her aside, not them, but producers, and say, when they have the floor, let them speak. I mean, obviously in a conversation, sometimes you overtalk each other, but she gets to hold court all the time as the queen bee on this panel. Oh, where's Whoopi? I just realized Whoopi ain't there. She gets to hold court the whole time. And her co-stars have to quickly say what they have to say and then bow out. And then she just, absorbs all the air in the room. And I really appreciated the fact that Sara and Alyssa took the time to really think about this and understand exactly why the voters voted the way they did. This blame game, you have people in the Democrats that are blaming each other. Everybody's blaming Joe Biden, blaming Kamala Harris, blaming the campaign director, the campaign manager. Everybody has some blame. And it's funny to me to hear Bernie Sanders now speaking out, because he was on mute the entire time. And now that they've lost, you're now hearing his true thoughts. And I wonder, had the Democrats won, if he would have said any of this stuff. I doubt it. But I'm happy that they stood up to her. And I think everything that Sara and Alyssa said is absolutely correct. I was in the food store the other day, and I was watching as I'm picking up things, and I'm going to do a video where I go and I do some shopping. And I'm going to show you how far $50 gets you. Okay. But I was doing some shopping and picking up stuff and putting it back down, picking up stuff and putting it back down, because why? Some things are just so expensive. It's like, I'm trying to stay within a budget. And if I get this, then I can't get this. You have to get the essentials. It's really hard. But I was through an aisle, no joke. And a Hispanic lady was there with her two kids, a little boy and a little girl. And her little girl, I looked at their trolley. And I mean, when you say bare bones stuff, like ramen noodles, rice, beans, water, toilet paper, it was like essentials to me. And her daughter picked up some, I forget what the name of the little chips are. I was through the international food aisle, right? And she picked up some of these little chips, and her mother said no. She spoke to her in English. She said, no, put that down. I don't have the money for that. And when I went and I picked up the chips were like $1 something. And for the mother to say, I don't have the money for that, right? And you look at a trolley and you see she don't really have anything in it. You really get an understanding for the fact that people can't even get the fun stuff anymore. Her daughter just wanted some chips and it's like, no, I don't have money for that, because you got to get the essentials. And so when what Sara and Alyssa are saying is so correct. So correct, that people don't have time to think about all these bigger issues. And that's not to say that those things don't matter, but what they're thinking about is what is affecting them today, when the check engine light is on, when the medical bills come through. I can't even tell you how many times I open up my email first thing in the morning, I suck my teeth, another damn Innova bill, another this bill, another that bill. You just got to be paying all these bills, and it's not easy. And the messaging, even if they did do all these wonderful things that Joy just said, absolutely right. But to Alyssa's point, why didn't they hype those things up? Why didn't they keep driving that home? Instead, they gaslit the American people. Repeatedly, they gaslit the American people when it came to Joe Biden's declining faculties. They gaslit people when it came to the border crisis, until Greg Abbott decided to send them on these sanctuary cities and send them on their doorstep. And then they started to understand. They kept gaslighting the American people, American voters. And so at the end of the day, people say, you're not listening to me. Are you hearing me? You're not listening to me. You don't think that I know what's best for me. It's that arrogance that the party knows what's best. We know what's best for you. We know what's most important here. No. And that's why the people rejected them. And I said in a previous video that I hope that the Democrats do some introspection. And I said specifically, you could go back and watch it. I said, if they have it in them. And I'm seeing some introspection on this panel, yes, but I don't think at large that the Democrats are being introspective right now. They're just not. Not a lot of them. A lot of them are still playing this blame game, pissed off at the American voting public about their decision. You're the problem. Own that. Now, I know a lot of you hate watching The View. I've read some of your comments, and some of you have said, I try to avoid The View all the time. I don't want to watch them. I don't know why YouTubers even cover them, because it's important. Now, if you don't want to watch, I understand. If they trigger you, that's fine. But at the end of the day, I like hearing different viewpoints, different perspectives. I read some comments that said that they really need to get rid of Sunny. I don't want them to get rid of Sunny. As much as she annoys me from time to time, believe it or not, she makes some good points sometimes that I really do find myself saying, well, I agree with that. And I agree with your point on that. And I, again, value different viewpoints. So I don't want to hear everybody saying the same thing, nodding at the same thing, shaking their head at the same thing. We have to open up our minds and understand that people are going to have different viewpoints, and be open to that. You don't have to accept it at the end of the day. But what's the harm in taking the time to actually listen? Because you might find that you have common ground, or you might say, I reject that. But you can still watch. There are other people on the platform. What I have wanted on The View is a little bit more diversity of thought. And I think in the last 15, 20 years, I haven't really seen that too much. I haven't seen it. Yes, you've had Republicans on the platform and people who I guess you could view as more moderate. But the fact of the matter is, I feel like everybody is always in cahoots with their thinking. They're always on the same playing field. And that's not the way Barbara Walters, created. That's not what she created this show to be. That's not what she created. I want to hear different viewpoints. And I want to hear people who are a little bit more moderate. I want to hear people who are willing to listen. Listen, go back when this is done. I'm going to link the video down below. Just go and watch how many times Sunny interrupted. And she can't say a word without looking at her notes. Just be able to talk. And it's like she's on her talking point, and that's it. If she would really just take the time to turn to her co-workers, her co-panelists, and just listen to what they're saying, she might learn something. But she's so stubborn. But I don't want her gone. Let her stay right there on The View. Because again, we should hear different viewpoints. And at the end of the day, I don't want them to be in an echo chamber. Although I feel like they've been in an echo chamber for a while. And it's good to see them stepping out and standing up to her. She's got this mean girl energy about her to me. How many times did Sara have to say, no, just let me finish. Just let me make my point. Joy, let me make my point. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this whole exchange. I present this to you all just so you can understand why a lot of people feel the way they feel. It's just this elitist mindset. All of these women are multimillionaires. They all go home to really wonderful houses, and they're insulated in their bubble. And I don't envy them for their success. I'm proud of all these women on this platform for their success. But I just think they are, and maybe that just comes with the territory. Maybe it does, where you just become so elevated that you forget what it feels like to go to the food store and have to decide, between toilet paper and toothpaste. Okay? Or you have to decide, I can't afford to get fresh meat, so I'm going to get this meat inside of the can. Or you have to turn to your daughter and say, we don't have money for that. Put that back. Drop your comments down below. I want to hear what you have to say. And if you like my content, consider subscribing to the channel. But before you do that, go through my other videos and see if you like what I'm saying, because nothing worse than someone coming across a video that they like and then subscribing. And this happens all the time. And then they go to another video and be like, oh, I hate your viewpoint. I'm unsubscribing today. So just take your time. Don't rush into it. Go through my channel and see if you like my style, and then subscribe to the channel. Give this a big thumbs up. If you like this video and you think it was helpful, share it with your family members and your friends. And if you want to support this channel, you can go down in the description box and you will find all the ways that you can contribute to this channel. One of my favorite ways for you to contribute is for you to buy me a coffee. I've said before a million times that I really do like coffee, and I work crazy hours, and so the coffee always comes in handy when I go coffee shopping. By the way, before I go, let me send a little shout out, because some of you have been so amazing with buying me a coffee, and I need to take a picture and show you guys, because y'all might be thinking I'm using this money elsewhere, but I'm not. I want to send a big shout out to Black Dice 828. Were you born August 28th? I don't know. If you were, you're in good company. I'm August 29th. Carrie T, thank you so much. And thank you for the great conversation, Carrie T. Halifax 2015, thank you so much. Rob Reyes Cosme? Rob Reyes Cosme, 6902. Sorry if I messed it up. James, Heather, hey Heather. Don King 595. Allison Bonilla. Eric J. Russell, what's up, Eric? And XOXO Liz AT, and On a Healing Journey. All of you guys have been contributing to the channel, so I'm so grateful to you. And of course, to all my channel members, I love you all so much, and I really appreciate your support. I will see you all next time. I can't even say next week anymore, because I've been pumping out these videos back to back. So I love you guys. Mwah. Toodles.